fly through the clouds for a little bit. Not gonna get below 2,000. Should be another hole. It's not a hole, really. It's kind of a thick hole. It seriously makes my heart rate go up a little bit. You know, it's like just being able to control the aircraft. Oh, I didn't realize that close to the freaking no-fly zone either. Hold on, let me time check. Yeah. Didn't realize it was literally just beyond the clouds I was playing in, or that I were playing in. It's like, I guess if you're being light on the throttle, then you should use a stick. Use its rudders. But you still have decent control and you can keep your throttle output the way you want it. Get over that airport and practice some maneuvering at low power. Yeah, I won't go below 500.
Caution, pull up.
Shit. There we go. Level off. I'm on the floor of my allowance.
Stall warning.
Yeah, I didn't really have enough time for that. But I think I may have enough control to go ahead and go into the first VR mission. Man, this is insane because I know I'm not going to be as crazy cool as I am without the VR. Mission. Not ace. Let's just go with normal so I can get as much time as I really need.
Let's begin the
I
briefing.
love being able to read that that's already S.
To the northwest of us here at Fort Crick. They've ignored as
I'm
the
not
idea
worried about you.
We're almost certain the crafts belong to the free Erusians. You guys, if attacked,
Intercept the unidentified bogies and force them to land. Take a quick check, my surroundings, make sure the cat's fucking around. Excuse my French. I don't know, because one of the cats is big enough that I can hear him moving around on the ground. Or not just hear it, but I can also feel it on the floor. It's like a freaking 20-pound cat. It's ridiculous. Well, more like a 12 to 15 pound cat, but still that's freaking heavy for a cat. Baby humans that don't weigh that much. Oops. Sinking my head into my body. I love being able to move the controls though and see that they respond like visually. Yep. These controls are simple, so I don't have to worry too much about what all happens. Yeah, I don't know how to get to those really cool menus on this thing. Not that I would really want to. It would only prevent me from doing what I want to do.
Mobius 1, you have permission to take off right after Omega 11. After takeoff, you'll be under command of the AWACS Sky Eye. Contact the unidentified aircraft and order them to land.
Hey, birdies.
Wind is 130 degrees at 18 knots. We are good for takeoff. Omega 11, you are cleared for takeoff.
Calibrate real quick.
Go!
There we go.
Omega 11 is in the air. Mobius 1, stand by. Mobius 1, you are cleared for takeoff.
Keep an eye on approaching fighters. If they get you know the number of bogeys. Increasing alert. Situation report. Something's happening.
Altitude restriction lifted.
This is AWACS Sky Eye of the 118th Tactical Fighter Wing. You'll be under our command from here on out. Omega 11, follow Mobius 1. This could turn into a firefight.
I hope this guy's the real deal.
You'll find out if he is soon enough. Everyone will.
You're not gonna talk too much. 'Cause I'm focused on actually being able to navigate, even if it's using really simple Ace Combat radar and all that bull. This is probably far enough ahead that I'll pop out right in front of him and not have to slow down too fast. Oh, and I don't have to hold the other button for looking around and all that crap. I love it. I think that was pretty well executed. It's a nice downward spiral.
We're picking up several unidentified aircraft. Omega 11, try contacting them via radio.
Unidentified aircraft. This is the IUN PKF. Unidentified aircraft has a radar lock on us.
Missile.
Bandits fired!
Missile.
The unidentified aircraft are confirmed hostile. Weapons free. Engage. Don't let them near the base.
Wilco.
I can't take off this rock. We need to hold them off until reinforcements arrive.
Missile.
Missile in the air. Enemy on your six.
Bombers confirmed destroyed.
This is Viper 2. I've arrived and am aware of the situation.
Viper 2 and Rapier 1, assist Mobius 1. All aircraft rejoin formation.
You're new here, so I'll fill you in. This guy's the real deal.
I can't stand this type of violence.
Such candor. I mean, you said too much.
I'll be the judge of that.
Mobius 1, landed on your six.
Missile. Missile.
Bandit locked on.
Missile.
We're picking up something new on radar.
The reinforcements are here. We got the upper hand now. Roger.
Nice hit.
Viper 2, Bandit.
Whew, a little bit of an overcorrection there. I'm going into a lot more
Viper 2, can you look after yourself
barrel
for a bit?
rolling and
I'll watch your backs, too.
rolls than is really necessary or than I would typically do with a controller, but everything is a little bit more natural when I'm in the mix is what it seems. Just increase my speed naturally, not give it too much throttle at all.
Time these guys remember how to fight.
Maybe target lock. Get the nose just a little bit.
Mobius 1, enemy down.
Let's make this quick.
Hey, did you see the ribbon enemy?
Mobius 1, bandit on your tail.
Behind you. Break.
Look up. The clouds look ominous.
Fox 2.
Affirmating. Mobius 1 again?
Omega 11, pay attention. Stop staring at Mobius 1.
Missile.
Something just came up on our radar. Looks like enemy reinforcements.
Enemy split. Bandit on your six. Up through.
Nice hit.
Few bandits.
Hurry up. Finish these guys off. Switch weapons. Get a little bit above them.
Omega 11,
Dip the
encircling behind you.
nose. Decrease speed.
There's an enemy unit approaching the base. Take it out.
Enemy on your tail.
Hit. Hit.
Breaking.
Viper 2, it looks like you're running out of targets. Will you be okay without me?
Punch through that turbulence.
We have to do this for Russia's sake. Find the leader. Time down to evade. Locked on bandit. Attacking.
Eliminate the escorts first.
Over to Fox 2.
Fox 2.
On your six. Any alert?
Fulcrum down.
The enemy's got a veteran pilot. Enemy missile. Evade.
Alright, that's fine.
Special weaponry
Ammunition
empty.
0.
Getting on lock. Breaking. Warning. Bandit on your six.
Missile.
Locked on bandit. Attacking.
Missile.
Mobius
Missile.
1, enemy clinging to you.
Missile.
Enemy invaded by attack.
Almost out of chaff and flares.
Well, that was.
Missile. Missile.
Contact missile.
Missile.
One of them is dangerous. Behind target.
Enemy locked on. Shake them off.
Missile.
Invaded attack. Going in again.
Missile.
Enemy behind you. Stay sharp.
They got moves.
Missile closing. Breaking.
3 targets remaining. Enemy locked on.
Missile.
Missile closing. Evade.
2 targets remaining.
Now it's just us. We're being eaten.
Missile.
Missile. Get out.
Missile.
Mobius 1, bandit on your tail.
Hey, what are we here for? Just to look good?
Oh, that was nice. Little post-all maneuver there.
Mobius 1 locked on enemy. One target remaining.
Going to a roll. I slow my speed.
Mobius 1, Fox 2.
Mobius 1 has shot down a bandit.
Hell yeah.
The remaining free Erugian forces are withdrawing. Victory is ours.
Stall warning. Stall warning.
Oh, big.
Caution.
He's the real
Hold
deal,
up.
all right.
Stall
You know,
warning.
from fighting just once.
Stall warning. Caution.
Watch all you like. There will be more battles. Until then, we rest. Return to base.
Stall warning.
Come on. A little practice. Oh, they're gonna make me fucking land too.
Stall warning.
This is the Albatross control tower. AWACS Sky Eye will take it from here.
I can see it though.
You're too fast. Lower speed. You're straying to the left. Bank right. 1,600 meters to carrier.
Put her down.
Landing confirmed. Excellent landing. Nice job, Mobius 1. Nice work. Now go and get some rest before your next sortie.
That adds a new level of tension to everything. Yeah, that adds a whole new level. Very glad I was able to try that. And I'm getting more familiar with this. I'm just not doing those ridiculous like high G maneuvers a whole
Thanks
lot.
to your efforts, the unidentified
And I was able to
aircraft
get
was
an A
taken down.
with the
You
flight
helped us
stick.
make it clear that it belonged to Free Erusia. I have some guys looking into the enemy's motivations. I'm afraid it's looking like things could get pretty ugly. For now, Mobius looks... We need a...
I think I pulled off some decent kills. Yeah, I think I pulled off some decent kills. Yeah, I just love being able to read all of this. Yeah. I'll be able to perform more and more, I'm sure, as I keep flying in the VR. And probably as I get more experience on the stick in general. But man, it's like, it's starting to come natural once I hop into the missions. For sure the rolling does, and knowing like when I'm about to overshoot, what kind of corrections to make, and on my approaches, it's getting more fluid, and I can react. What I can't do so well just control the scissoring all that much. Everything turns into a rolling scissor. I can't really make it a strictly lateral scissor or vertical scissor anymore. And then, or at least not very well. And split S-ing is something I have to like legit concentrate on. Now it's like, do the split S, achieve the split S, execute the split S. It's like what I'm saying in my head when I'm about to split S. I'm like, do the split S. Yeah. Yeah, that was a split S. Barrel rolls are easy. They're really easy now. I just gotta get into the hang of doing things quickly and learning the maximum outputs and their sensitivities, because I was trying my best even when I was moving quickly not to pull the stick all the way to the plastic, not to move it all the way metal to metal, like trying not to push it all the way to its maximums. That way I can avoid doing things that might cause me to lose control. And just doing the slight turns, and if I need to move fast, just give it a little bit more than you would usually, basically just before it might touch by like a few millimeters. Just instead of going full off to the side like a 90, or like a freaking straight 30-degree freaking tilt. It's feeling better and better the more I get it. I'm glad I'm getting the buttons down. The controls are becoming familiar. One thing that's going to be tough for me to get ingrained into me is going to be rudder control. Remembering during all those rolls and all those scissors that I have rudders, and to help, make my maneuvers that I'm going through in my head more tangible and more precise. And then just remembering that the more of my rudder I can use, the more like proficient I'll get with some of these crazy maneuvers. And that there is such a thing as too much rudder. However, you can lag on that rudder for a little bit for the release, and it could cause you to overshoot if you're going fast enough. I think I'm getting better with throttle controls. I think about where I would with the I basically just think about the left trigger the whole time. The only thing I'm worried about is slowing down, because I tend to slow down to the point of boom, I just bring it straight down metal to metal and slow down to basically the point that I stall. But now that last one, I was feathering on it a little bit more, just kind of feeling the click as I go back to neutral, and never pushing it all the way to either direction, and then just looking at that line on my HUD indicating, the level of throttle input or acceleration or deceleration that I want, and like monitoring that. It actually makes you use the HUD a lot more. And I guess that's why they have those features there, is for this freaking flight stick and people who are immersing themselves a little more than your average Ace Combat player. Which is because when I use the controller, it all just seemed pointless to me. I'm like, yo, I got a stick and I don't need half this stuff on my screen. I don't need to know this stuff. Now that I have the flight stick, I'm like, okay, I need to know how much throttle I'm giving this thing, how much air brake I'm putting on this thing, how much am I spoiling, how much drag am I putting on this thing, and constantly monitoring it. And throughout every maneuver, I'm like, where's my throttle hand? Do I need to be more up? Do I need to put more gas into it, more throttle, more fuel? Do I need to push that engine more, or do I need to pull it back a little bit? Do I notice I'm about to overshoot? Am I up or down when I'm pointing down, nose down? Unless I'm really in a chase here, I'm not pushing that throttle all the way forward. I'm just gonna kind of make the angle of my pursuit a little bit more dramatic and increase that speed more naturally with gravity, and only if they're extremely far from me, basically like into long range, would I then proceed to use that metal to metal input. The same, like only if I'm going like Mach 2.5 and my target is going like 900, you know, 0.9 Mach, you know, he's going 0.9 Mach, like I probably need to really slow down if he's like freaking 5,000 feet from me, because a little longer and I'll be overshooting him, or actually not even a little longer, like, you know, very quickly you'll be overshooting, especially if he does anything besides go straight up or down. I'll be overshooting him very quickly. So it's like, yeah, it makes me have to constantly, I'm gonna have to get used to the target switching button. That's really weird because it's right next to the button to fire, to engage with missiles. I basically just tapped with the gun on that one kill because or on that one, because it was just like me remembering I have a quote unquote fire solution for a little snapshot with these guns, although it wouldn't do much at all. It's just remembering that, hey, in that situation you could, if you were more skilled, you could just track him and continue to fly right behind him in his path, because you have that advantage. But because you're overshooting a little bit because you don't have so much control, and you're doing extra rolls and all this, and or you're putting too much roll on it, it's like, go ahead and just tap them and then reacquire the target and go for the missile kill. But it shouldn't throw you out of anything. It should just throw you back into lag pursuit. And I like that he tried to overshot with speed, or he tried to lose me and gain the speed on the unload. But then it's like he was still also in missile range, so I could still launch at him. And missiles are projectiles. They have mass. They have weight. You know, they gain inertia. All that. You know, momentum. All of it. They work just like tiny aircraft. So those missiles would then engage him quicker than usual. And so he really didn't have he had honestly, if he was a highly maneuverable aircraft and with a very skilled AI pilot behind it, he would just do a simple like turn. He would probably just split S and try and come back at me while I'm pursuing him, you know, or even lose me underneath him, you know, then get on my 6 is what he'd probably try and do. That's what I would do. I think I did that once. Like, person was firing at me and I just did a quick split S. I know a lot of them I just did a brake turn, or a barrel roll with some flares. But I split S'd for sure. I think away from one and got behind him like immediately, and it works that way. But nah, I think that was a pretty good flight. I'm confident with that going online. I like that. It's my first VR flight with Ace Combat 7 Edition, HOTAS flight stick, joystick, you know, whatever you want to call it, and it's great. It's great. I'm loving it. Can't wait to hook this up to DCS. But first, I think I should get proficient here on Ace Combat with a flight in VR, just getting a feel for the stick and moving the aircraft with its, you know, with a simple setup, and not on TCS where I have to worry about turbulence and all that other stuff, because turbulence will be cool, but I won't be able to feel it. And so I'll need to know what kind of sensitivity to expect from this thing. You know, basically I'm learning the hardware. I'm learning about my hardware. Alrighty then. That should be it for today.